All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Jennifer Dixon. I am with Thrive Yoga and Wellness. And today we are going to move through a 45-ish minute yoga class. I am a power yoga teacher, first and foremost. That's my 200 and 500. That's where all of my experience is. And through the Baron Baptiste lineage. So my power yoga is a little bit different than some others. I definitely come from a fitness background, so you're going to see some things that are brought back into this practice that you may see in other places, like at the gym or whatever. And so we are live. What I'm going to do is practice with you guys live. I can't really chat back and forth with you because it's just me. This will be left online and live for everybody for about 24 hours, and then we're going to take it off. And if you love it, then definitely check us out online, thriveyogaandwellness.com/thrive online. This video is going to become part of our online membership program, which if you sign up today or for a limited time, you can sign up for $1, and then you get full access to, oh goodness, we have I think over 9 hours of video programming already, and it'll just be adding on to it every single week, as well as an online community where we get together and talk all things like yoga and wellness. And so, again, my name is Jennifer Dixon. I'm with Thrive Yoga and Wellness, and today we are going to move through a 45-ish minute power yoga sequence. It's for the Mommy Bounce Back program that we currently host online. And the things that I like to focus on, especially with the Mommy Bounce Back, I am postpartum. My son is a little over a year old. I like to focus on building strength and stability in the places that matter most. So in the core, in the low back, and in the shoulders, because we got to hoist the kid up. We got to regain all of the muscles that were stretched out during pregnancy. And then we have to come back from that overly relaxed state that is pregnancy and postpartum with all the extra relaxants. So I like to work and focus on strength building exercises that will help us to kind of come back in from that more relaxed state of pregnancy. So when you're ready, all you need is a yoga mat. If you have got a water nearby, grab a water, and if you need it at any time, stop, take a water break. You can come into child's pose whenever you want, and I'll demonstrate that in just a moment. Take a break as much as you'd like. This is designed to be challenging. None of these poses are going to be things that you're going to say, oh, I'll never be able to do that. In fact, most of these poses you've probably already seen, but they are sequenced specifically to help you to gain strength and flexibility while you're doing it, as well as balance, and at the same time all of this helping to integrate and help to bring that body back in to bring you strength and wellness. So when you're ready, again, all you need is a yoga mat, comfortable clothes. It doesn't matter if they're cool. I think there was a comment in the last video, somebody didn't like my clothes. Clearly I am focused on that. So don't worry about it. Like if you're in sweats, just own it. Who cares? I will tell you that the bigger the shirt, the more it tends to flop open. And then floppy pants also you might trip on when we're going back and forth. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you've ever wondered why on earth people wear these tighter clothes, it's because when you're moving around, the really loose clothes can kind of get in the way, especially loose long pants. I've tripped over my own pants several times. So I want you guys to also notice I've got my mat oriented up relatively close to a wall. I'm about a foot away from the wall. And the reason for that is depending on how far along you are in your practice, one of the things that I like to cue in a typical class is to just kick up. There's a couple reasons for that. Most people love the idea of doing handstands one day. If you never do a handstand or a headstand ever in your life, you're going to be okay. You can still practice yoga. You can still exercise. That's not the part of yoga. But what it does do, which is what we're here for in essence, is it's going to help to elevate your heart rate, which is going to make you practice your yoga a little more so you can control your breath a little more. And so if you kick up, there's a wall right behind you. So you don't have to worry about falling out or anything like that. So that's the reason why I like to orient myself up against the wall. You can kick up between every vinyasa. You can kick up whenever you want, and the wall is right there. And all that's going to do is help to intensify the cardiovascular component of this practice. Okay, so let's get started. It is about 12:35. Let me make sure we are still live. I just got a text message saying, can you guys hear me? Because it's saying that. I just got a text message saying that it's not working. I promise we'll get moving. Shoot me a chat if you can hear me. Let's see. I swear we're going to get moving. Okay. Yeah, this is when I need a whole slew of little elves to help me to make sure that I can get everything going the right way. I apologize. Okay. All right, so for better or worse, here we go. I'll meet you on your mat. You can be in child's pose, otherwise known as balasana pose. For balasana pose, it can be explored a couple of different ways. Your feet are together. Your knees can be together or apart. If they're together, it's a little bit more of a low back stretch. If they're apart, like mat's width distance apart, it's a little bit more of an inner thigh hip opener. Yogi's choice. I know when I was breastfeeding regularly, I preferred the open knee version because, let's just be honest, any pressure there is not comfortable. So take a few moments here as you press that forehead into the mat. Your hands are reaching out in front. Yes, they can be down beside your hips, but for right now, since we're going to start getting into this practice, let's press those hands into the mat, draw the elbows up off of the mat, pressing the finger pads into the mat. That's going to help you to shift your hips back some and towards your heels. If your hips can't come all the way down like this, that's totally okay. You're still getting the benefit of the pose. Pressing into the mat is going to activate along the lats. That's kind of, I like to call those your angel wings, the upper back and shoulder region. This is when I want to first cue the abdominal engagement in yoga. That's called the Uddiyana Bandha, drawing your belly button to spine. That's those transverse abdominals that help to protect our spine. Let's do 2 more breaths here. If you can, try to breathe in and out your nose. 1 more breath. All right. Let's come up to tabletop. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and let's try to make a flat back. So, drooping down in the low back, that is not a flat back. Likewise, rounding up here is not a flat back. Those are 2 different poses. So there's a fair amount of abdominal engagement necessary to keep the flat back here. You're drawing that belly button to spine. That's that transverse abdominal exercise we were just practicing in child's pose. And you'll find that this right here can be pretty challenging. If you want to soup it up some, you come over onto your toes and just hover those knees up off the mat. My knees are up maybe 2 inches. Now, if your wrists give you grief, you can roll the top of your mat up 1 or 2 times and place the heels of your hands on the mat, fingertips off of the mat. Yes, our knees are still up. Keep breathing. That extra elevation just takes some pressure off the wrist. 1 more. All right, straightening the legs, bringing the hips up and into the air, coming into your very first downward facing dog. Now, your heels may not touch the mat today. They may be up really high. Your knees may be bent a whole bunch. That depends on how open you are in the hamstrings. So if you look up and you're like, holy moly, I am super bent and she's straight, don't worry about it. That's just a matter of your body's openness right now. You let that head go and you stare towards your belly button. That's called Nabhi Drishti in yoga. That helps to relax the back and the neck some. Pressing the thumb and the pointer finger into the mat. 1 more breath. All right, let's walk those hands back towards the feet, warming up the hamstrings just a little bit more. Now, if your knees are not straight, that's okay. Bend them as much as you need to in order to relax this back area. We don't want to stress out the low back. You can hang out here. You can bring your hands to opposite elbows to allow a little bit more gravity to help pull down on the upper body. Just relax. And with your belly in, knees slightly bent, push down into those big toes a whole bunch. Slowly start to round up, engaging your glutes, your bottom muscles. As you come all the way up, reach your hands up really high. And then when you're ready, bring them down to the side into your mountain pose. All right, let's get moving. Inhale, hands come up, belly stays in as we exhale, forward fold. You're going to pull up halfway to really engage between the shoulder blades, and then walk your hands out coming into high plank. We're going to do a lot of fun plank stuff today. I was watching a video online the other day, and they did a really cute ab sequence to a popular Bruno Mars song, and I was like, oh dude, I've got to do that. So hang out here, building some heat. This is a high plank pose. Now watch it. Don't let your booty sink down, as well as don't let your booty come up in the air. We want to be in one solid line of energy here. You should feel this in your quads as well as in your abs. Now look at my shoulders. Notice how they're slightly rounded between the shoulders. This is basically the only time I ever think or cue that, because otherwise we tend to collapse between the shoulder blades. I don't know if you can see that. Here is engaged, here's collapsed. When you collapse, it can really, really, really hurt your neck and upper body, and that's not great, but it also disengages those shoulder muscles, and we want to get them into this party too. One more breath. All right, let's come into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Catch your breath here. One more. All right, let's inhale here. Come back to high plank. Exhale. One more inhale. Now on your exhale, we're going to prepare for the next inhale. We lift that right leg. Try not to let the booty come up too high, as well as don't let it sink. Try to keep that same engagement between the shoulders. Pressing that foot away from you. If you can get it higher, that's cool. That's going to engage the glutes a little more. Your gaze is slightly forward. You just don't let the head down. One more breath. Nice. Set that leg down. Downward facing dog just for a breath. Give your shoulders a break. Remember, if your wrists are bothering you, don't hesitate. Fold that mat over a couple of times, and then put the palms of your hands on the mat, the fingertips on the floor. I'll show you. Inhale back to plank. Energy out through those heels, preparing, then lift that left leg. Puffing up between the shoulder blades, draw the belly button in. One more breath. Nice. Plant that foot down. Walk your hands back to your downward facing dog just for one breath. From here, we're going to roll back to the plank. Inhale once, exhale. Next inhale, we're going to bring that right foot to the right pinky. Set it back. If you just brought it forward some, that's okay. Left foot forward, maybe to the pinky, set it back. We're just working on building some heat in the core, building some heat in the shoulders, and this movement right here is building mobility in the hips. Let's do it one more each time. Remember, I lied. Let's do it one more time. Even if your foot barely comes up, it's still getting the benefit of this exercise. Downward facing dog. One more breath. Inhale, looking forward. Bring that right knee up towards your nose. Set that right foot forward in between your hands. Now you can bring that left knee down and come into a low lunge, or you can come up to the toes of that left foot. Belly comes in. You're pretending to draw the belly off of that thigh, that right thigh, even though it's not really ever going to do that. And that's the engagement you need here in your crescent lunge. So depending on your heart rate, your hands can be behind your back. That'll slow things down. They can be at your heart center, or they can be reaching up high, pinkies towards each other. What's not going on is that cheerleader butt, so collapsing in the low back. Draw that tailbone down, low belly in. One more breath. All right, go ahead, plant those hands down, pick up the right foot, hang out in your plank. Just 3 breaths. That was 1. That was 2. One more. Downward facing dog. All right, left foot comes forward. Remember, you can ground down on that right knee, come up to the low lunge, or you can come up to your full crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Tailbone's lengthening down. You're up on the toes of that right foot. Left knee's bent towards a 90-degree angle. Hands can be behind your back, at your heart center, reaching up, pinkies rotating towards each other. Let's do 2 more breaths here. One more. Nice. Go ahead, plant your hands. Pull that left foot back. Hold this plank. One more. All right, so we're going to come down to a low plank. So if you want to come to your knees, elbows in, come to your low plank or chaturanga. Inhale, push back up. Now you can do that same thing on your toes. Inhale here, exhale, pushing forward, chaturanga. That's that low plank. Inhale back to high plank. Remember, you can do this at your knees as well. Looking forward, chaturanga, high plank. I'm going to do it one more time on my toes. Looking forward, chaturanga, high plank. Downward facing dog. Going from chaturanga to high plank, I think, is way harder than through upward facing dog, which is awesome. Catch your breath. One more. All right, let's build on to our sequence some. Right foot forward, crescent lunge. Remember, you can come down to your left knee. Settle in here, building some heat. So we're going to do a nice open-armed twist. It's going to challenge your belly, your balance, and make you work your belly. So belly's in, hands at your heart center, or they can be up high. One more breath. Now right hand back, left hand forward. Gaze over the right fingertips if your balance can take it. Now if you want to juice this up even more, one more breath. Let's hover that left knee. Good job. One more breath. Nice. Back to crescent lunge. And opening up, warrior two. Woo. One more breath. Let's do a peaceful warrior. Left hand back, that left thigh. Right hand reaching up, gaze towards the right hand. And then on the exhale, right elbow to that right thigh. Left hand reaching forward. It's reaching in this straight line from the outside of that left knife edge of the foot. Little to no weight into that right elbow if you want to get a little more abs in. Belly's in. One more. Nice. Go ahead, bring both hands down to the inside of that right foot. And here we've got another little balance challenge. This time we're going to balance on our hands. Inhale, belly's in, lengthen through that tailbone, draw that belly button to spine, push down into your hands and try to pick up your right foot. And then set it down. If it took you a couple of goes, that's okay. One more breath. Now, move through your vinyasa or do a chaturanga push-up. A vinyasa is high plank, low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. I've been really working on the chaturanga push-ups because that builds a little more strength. Catch your breath. All right, looking forward, draw that left foot forward. Remember that right knee can come down as you come into your crescent lunge on the right knee with the left foot forward, or you can come to the full expression. Also, remember your hands can be behind your back or at your heart center. We're going to do an open arm twist here, left hand back, right hand forward. This is a very gentle twist, but the reason why I like it is that it forces you to work your balance a little more because your gaze is looking backwards. It's a little bit of eye yoga. Let's hover that right knee. Almost forgot that. Inhaling, crescent lunge, and then open up, warrior two. Don't forget to smile. Draw that belly in. Now that left knee, you don't want it to collapse inward. You want to kind of press it towards the pinky toe side. But if you get so open that you're just cattywampus over to the outside, that's not great either. Remain tight and engaged here. Peaceful warrior, right hand down, left hand up. Gaze can be towards the left fingertips or down towards the right fingertips. Belly's in. Inhaling warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Now you don't want your chest to collapse down like towards the floor. Try to leave your chest open towards the camera maybe, or the far wall, away from the camera. Well, not the camera, y'all would be watching the TV. Sorry about that. Little to no weight into that left hand. That's going to help to open up the back. Now here's a little yoga secret for those of you with active curves in the back. What you do to help to strengthen the muscles, one more breath,
and maybe take away some of that curvature that's natural in most spines as you practice that pose, the harder side, twice as long. Look at those left toes as you windmill those hands down to the mat. Here we are, like in almost like a splits prep, right? Look at those hands that are down on the mat. Look at that left big toe. Press down into the hands. Pick that left foot up. Set it down at the back of the mat. Beautiful. Hold this plank. Inhale. Exhale. Move through your vinyasa or chaturanga push-up. That's what I'm going to do. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Hopefully your heart rate's going up. You've started to shine and sparkle a little bit. So let's build up a little more heat, okay? So inhaling here in downward facing dog, let's look at those fingertips. Think to ourselves, we can do this. Bend those knees and hover them. So here I am, knees down really low, belly's in really high. It's almost like we're about to jump off and jump into the water, right? Or we're about to sprint on a track. We're really engaged, belly's in, one more breath. And then we're going to come forward. Maybe you walk, maybe you stop, maybe you jump forward. Here we are in a tiny little ball squat at the top of the mat. Belly stays in, suck it in a whole bunch. Heels are off the mat as much as they need to be. That depends on how open your Achilles is, which is one of the slowest things to open up. Now bring your hands to your heart center. Belly stays in. This is another balance challenge. Your gaze is at something that's not moving, preferably. Deep thoughts, right? Now, knees are together, right? Toes are together, and your ankles, they can be apart. What we're going to use is the knee engagement, those knees touching, inner thighs being really nice and strong. Press down into the big toes. Channel your inner Charlie's Angels, nonviolent, of course, right? Squeeze the belly button to spine and push yourself up into a chair pose. Nice. So you can let go of your Charlie's Angels. We're still here in chair pose. How deep you go into your chair is how much intensity you want. This time we're going to have those hands out wide, hands level to the mat. Pull the shoulders back. Bad teacher, pull them back. Engage those rhomboids. But when you do, don't collapse in the low back. So lengthen through the tailbone, pulling the shoulders back. One more breath. Now bring the elbows in as you come into a ski pose. Hands back. Come on back. And then bring the elbows in, hands come back, ski pose. Let's do that a few more times. Hands come forward, belly's in, elbows back, skiing. All right, one more. If you want to juice it up, come to your toes, bring them back. Squeeze it here. One more. I lied, let's do one more. Nice, forward fold. Those hamstrings have never been so happy to stretch. Or maybe the quads have never been so happy for the hamstrings to stretch. You can wiggle it out if you need to. Relaxing here. Belly's in. And then slowly round yourself up, one vertebra at a time. Hands come up high. Because it feels pretty good. Maybe a little back bend. And then hands to your side mountain pose. Beautiful. Now we're going to build on to the lunging series that we just did, but we're going to make it dynamic. So I'm going to do it one time facing so you can see me from the side, and then one time facing you. So right now we're on the front of our mats. We're going to sink down really low into a chair pose. If your balance can be really wonky, remember, use a wall. And then if you're still like somewhere between wall and wonky balance, the closer your hands are to your body, the more their center of gravity comes in. So hands up here is more challenging than hands to your heart. So inhale, chair pose. Remember that wall is beside you if you need it. Belly's in, hopefully. Maybe there's a wall beside you if you need it. Now we're going to pick up that left foot, grounding down through that right knee. Channel your inner Karate Kid. See how high you can bring that left knee up. Belly is nice and tight here. Tailbone's lengthening down. Sink down a little more in your one-legged chair. Nice. Shoot that left leg back into the airplane pose. Really challenge here your balance and your glutes and your belly. And if you have the wall, use it. Now set that left foot back, crescent lunge. Catch your breath. Nice balance challenge. You should feel this a lot in your glute and probably in your quad and your hamstrings. Now we're going to make this dynamic. You can do this with weights, by the way, and it really gets into your glutes. So from an inhale, we're going to kick forward, balance in a one-legged chair, maybe, or you can balance in chair. So I'll show you. Looking forward, belly's in, inhale, kicking forward, left knee up, sit into chair. Your left foot can come down if it needs to. Hold this. Come back to warrior 3. Left foot grounds, crescent lunge. Let's do that 5 total times, trying to hold it and keep your breath. Your right butt cheek will sing. Belly's in, inhale, knee comes forward, sink into chair. One more. And then airplane, crescent lunge. We got to do that 3 more times. Try to hold it a couple breaths in each of these versions of the pose. Inhale, knee comes up. One-legged chair or two-legged chair, yogi's choice. One more. And then airplane pose. Hold it for 3 breaths. Set that left leg down. Let's do this 2 more times because we can. Inhale, left leg forward. Sit down low. One more. Airplane pose. Try to control your breathing and set that left leg down. Last one. This is when your legs are talking to you, but when you build the most strength. Inhale, left leg forward. Hold that chair pose. It can be one-legged or not. Airplane pose. And then set that foot down. Reach yourself up. Extra credit. Hold this crescent lunge. Nice. Bring your hands to the mat. Hallelujah. Right foot back. Move through your vinyasa. Or go straight to down dog. Or you do a chaturanga push-up. Woohoo. That was pretty awesome. Okay. So now I'm going to do that facing you. So you can maybe get a different perspective. So we're in downward facing dog. We're going to look forward. We're going to bend those knees a whole bunch. We're in a tiny little ball squat here with our hands. So like a grounded, maybe this is like a baby pose with your knees off the mat, really active. Look forward, think to yourself, I can do this. And then like a sprinter, we're going to jump forward, come to the tops of the mat. Nice. Hang out here, a little forward fold just because it feels good. And then come to that ball squat like we did before. Ball squats are really fun. Okay, hands to your heart center. Squeeze those knees together. Squeeze and press the toes together. Belly is in. Think to yourself, I can do this. Now your hands can stay here at heart center. If you want to juice it up, hands out in front. I like to say the non-violent Charlie's Angel guns kind of acts like a fulcrum to help you balance. Shoulders engaged, push down, lift up into your chair. All right, hands release. Here you are, thinking to yourself, you can do this. Hands are parallel to the mat. And then we're going to go into those little ski chairs, right? So inhale here, exhale, bring the elbows to your waist, reach them out. Come on forward. Now, if you want, come up to your toes the whole time. Elbows back, reach the hands back, squeeze those triceps, bring the hands forward. Elbows in, hands go back, bring them forward. 2 more, elbows in, hands go back. Bring them forward. Actually, I think now it's 2 more. Elbows back, hands back. Bring them forward. Sit down a little more. Elbows back, hands back. Bring them forward. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Sit into this chair. Heels can come down. Nice. Come on up. Woo, mountain pose. Okay, now we're going to do that dynamic movement. I see that I need to move back some. Okay, so this time, we're going to move back with the right leg. I had to do some figuring there. So we're going to ground down a whole bunch in that left leg, and then we're going to reach that right leg back just like we did on the other side. So, when you are ready, sit into your chair pose. Channel that inner Karate Kid. Bring that right knee up. Shoot that right leg back. Airplane pose. Try to square the hips off. Now coming into your crescent lunge. Hands up if you want to juice it up. Now let's make it our big dynamic movement. 5 times. We can do this. We really want to work our balance and our glute here on the left-hand side. Belly needs to stay strong. Remember, your hands can stay here at your heart center if balance is really an issue, and you can always grab hold of a wall. So 5 of these. We can do this. Inhale, bring that right knee up. Maybe a one-legged chair, or you can do both feet down. 2, 3 breaths. Airplane pose for 3. 1, 2, 3. Crescent lunge for 3. 1, 2, 3. And we do it again. One-legged chair. 2, 3. Airplane pose. Try to keep that right hip down. See how mine's going up? I have a weakness in my left side. Right foot down, crescent lunge, 3 breaths. All right, 3 more of these. Right knee forward, 2, 3, bellies in. Airplane pose, 1, 2, 3, crescent lunge. Holy yeah, hope you feel this. 2, 3, let's do it 2 more times because we can. Right leg forward. Oh, try to hold. 1 more breath. Airplane pose. 1, 2, 3. Right leg down. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Make it our best. Sink low in that left leg. Right leg back. 1, 2, 3. Right leg plants. 1, 2, 3. Hallelujah. Plant your hands down. Move through your vinyasa or your chaturanga push-up, or you just go straight to down dog. Whew, that was so much fun. In the weird, this hurts everywhere sort of way, right? I just checked our time to make sure we were still good with time. Okay, so let's build on a new sequence. You ready? I think we can do this. Okay. So remember at the beginning of the sequence, I talked about how if you have the wall in front of you, you can really amplify the cardiovascular component of this practice. So if you're practicing near a wall, I love to, when I'm trying to juice things up a little bit for myself, I love to use that wall as a way to get onto my hands. So let's go ahead, let's get our heart rate up just a little bit and do 5 donkey kicks. Now remember, if you never do a handstand ever in your life, that's okay. But it's still really good to try, if you've not got any injuries, to get your weight into your hands. So look forward, bend those knees, kick up. 1. And if the wall's there, let me hit the wall for you. Kick up again. 2. Maybe you have the wall. All right, kick up again. Hopefully your heart's singing. Let's do it again. 4. And then 1 more. Kick high. Nice. Now plant those hands down. Forward fold. Catch your breath. Sink down into your chair pose once again. Whew. Nice little. Hopefully your heart rate's really up now. I hope it's nice and fired up for you. That's a surefire way to do it. Let's twist this out. Left elbow to the outside of that right thigh. Sink down low. Inhale, back to chair. And then exhale, other side. Inhale, back to chair. Nice, hold it here. And then mountain pose, standing up straight. Whoo, yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna go through a little sequence where we're gonna build into some balance with some triangle, okay? So from here, grounding down a lot through that right leg, we can pick up the right knee, or you can grab the right big toe. This is gonna really focus the effort on the right glute. All right, let go of that left foot, but try to hold the left leg up. Now go back through airplane. We've done this a few times. Maybe it's the best one. Set that left foot back, crescent lunge, and then warrior 2. Straighten that right leg. Reach the hands forward. Come into your triangle pose. So if your right leg can't go all the way straight, that's okay. Make it as straight as you can. Maybe you can grab your right toe. Maybe your hands touch the mat on the inside or the outside of that right foot. Really doesn't matter. We just want to open up our chest to the wall to our left. Belly's in. One more. All right, look at that big toe. Look down at that right big toe. Think to yourself, I can do this. Think to yourself, I can do this. This is going to be challenging, maybe. Maybe you got this and it's like no big deal. Remember, you can also do this. I'm not going to even show that. Yeah, we can do it from our knee as well. So let me demonstrate it one way. Coming into your half moon. Right hand plants just to the outside of that right foot. Left leg reaches up high. And then hold this half moon and maybe think about lifting the legs. Now, if this with your hand on the mat to the outside of your right foot is too much, you maybe have done 3 knee leg lifts. Come down to your knees and do it there. One more. Nice. Grounding down that left foot. Rotate your hands towards the mat. Come down. Chaturanga push-up or vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Woo. Okay, so maybe your heart rate came down. Maybe it didn't. If it did not, look up. Maybe practice a few more of those donkey kicks. So even if you can't get your feet all the way up to your bottom, or if you can't hover, you're still building your heat up. Inhaling here in this forward fold, and then bend the knees down a whole bunch. Come into your chair pose, hands at heart center. Just because it's an awesome pose. One more. All right, mountain pose. Ground down a lot through that left foot. We're going to grab the right knee or the right big toe. You can use your left hand on your waist to help you draw the belly in and lengthen through the tailbone. So, right hand to knee, belly in. Grab that right foot maybe. That wall is awful close. Let go of that right foot, hold it up, use your belly. Bend that right knee, shoot it back. Airplane pose. Crescent lunge, right toes down. Warrior 2. You know exactly what's about to happen. The left side always gets gypped off because it's kind of like we know what's going to happen. Teacher spends all the time explaining the right side, so let's really savor this left side. Build some heat into this left side. Straighten that left leg. Shift the hips back. Reach the hands forward. Remember, if this knee is bent, that's okay. What we don't want to have happen is your chest reach forward. We want to have the chest reaching towards, you don't want the chest towards the ground. You want it to reach forward. I think I said that wrong. So triangle pose. If you can grab your left big toe, the floor on the outside of that left foot, or you might be all the way up here. Left hand to almost to the shin of the left foot. Yogi's choice. It's all a matter of how open we are in the hamstrings, hips, back, mid-back. All right, remember, we've got this half moon with the leg lifts. So if the balance challenge was not going to happen, kicking off, left hand to the mat, to the outside of that left foot, lifting that right leg up, 5 leg lifts. Remember, you can do it down here on your knees. Maybe. All right, when you're done, windmill those hands down to the mat. Move through your vinyasa or chaturanga push-up, or just go straight to down dog. And hallelujah, we are done with the standing part of our sequence today. So catch your breath, child's pose. I'll meet everybody in a seated position at the top of their mat. So this is where the fun abs start. Are you ready? Let's do a little bit of Dandasana. That's a seated staff pose. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this with a microphone, so this is called a live video. Pressing those hands into the mat, energy out through the heels, traveling that belly button towards the spine. Lift the shoulders up and back. And breathe. One more. Let's do a seated forward fold or Paschimottanasana. If you just grab your shins, that's okay. Quads, okay. If you can grab your feet, awesome. Maybe you can grab the outsides of your feet or even bind. Now, for those of you that you have anatomy in the way, your feet can be as wide as they need to be in order to make room for your belly. One more. All right, so let's do a reverse tabletop because it's a pose that everybody loves to skip because it's really hard. Hands, fingertips facing your hips. They're several inches behind your back. I hate to say like 6, 12 inches because it's all a matter of how tall you are or how long your arms are. So reverse tabletop, feet are gonna plant into the mat, knees and feet are about hips width distance apart. We're gonna go ahead and do the modified version of it. Press those hands into the mat, draw the belly button in, lift the hips up, and try to get the belly to be parallel to the ceiling. Let the head go. Squeeze the butt cheeks to lift you up a little higher. One more. Nice. Set it down. Extend the legs out, but don't let them touch. Your hands can stay here on the mat. Hello, abs. If you want to juice it up, your hands can come up. I'm going to hold on and support just because I'm not quite ready for this canoe. One more. Bring those knees in. Hover them in. You can hold your knees here if you'd like, or you can just use your core, or you can have your hands here on the mat to help hold it up. I think we got 2 more breaths. One more. Let's go back to our canoe. Remember, hands could be here on the mat, or they could be reaching out. 2, 3. Come back here. Squeeze those knees in. Come back to your canoe. Come up to boat. Woo! So your legs may be straight, or they may be bent, or you can be back here at those knees into your chest. Let's do one more canoe boat. Canoe. Hold it. One more. Boat. Hold it. Nice. Cross that left leg over the right. Squeeze it in. Now let go of those knees, but try to hold it in with your belly. Yes. Okay. Set that stuff down. Now we're going to do a super fun little ab sequence that I saw done to the tune of a Bruno Mars song. We're going to see how well this works with a microphone because I've never done it with a microphone. So what we're going to do is come back down through canoe. We're going to roll over to our belly and come into a locust pose, which is a back bend on your belly, and try to do some movements between each of those poses using your core, so your belly and your back and your glutes. So you ready? Slowly with control, coming down to your back into canoe. 1, 2, 3. Reach those hands out long. Roll over to your belly. Locust pose. Lift the arms. Lift the legs. 2, 3. Bring the elbows back. Lift the chest up higher. 1, 2, 3. Hands out long. 1, 2, 3. Roll over into canoe. 1, 2, 3. Hands go back. 1, 2, 3. Roll over. Locust. 1. This is more like Superman. 2, 3. Hands come back into your locust. 1, 2, 3. Hands out wide to a T. 1, 2, 3. Superman. 1, 2, 3. Roll back over canoe. 1, 2, 3. Boat. 1, 2, 3. Canoe. 1, 2, 3. Hands out. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Locust. Superman's rather. 1, 2, 3. Locust. 1, 2, 3. Superman. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Roll on over to your back. 1, 2, 3. Boat pose. 1, 2, 3. Holy moly. Let it all come down. Long body stretch. We are no longer doing that. I think I hear the angels singing. Okay. So since we're here on our back, go ahead and bring that right knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. A little bit of wind removing pose. This is a great way to kind of start to slow down your heart rate just a little bit, helping to open up the hips. This also helps to aid in digestion. If you can get your knees down into your chest, go a little bit to the outside of your knees and try to get that knee into your right underarm. Eventually, that right knee will hit the mat beside your body. Think to yourself, next class. All right, extend that right leg out with control. Maybe it hovers before it sets down. Left leg in, and give that left knee a squeeze. Wind removing pose. So I like to sometimes get the anatomy out of the way like move the chest, move the belly, all that stuff to see if my left knee can come down anymore. Sometimes it actually gets down another inch or so. Maybe not a full inch, it feels like an inch. Extend that left leg out long body stretch. All right, before we do our back bends, let's go ahead and do one more really good hamstring stretch. Grabbing hold of that right knee, or if you can, grab hold of the right big toe. Now, if you've still got some juice left, you can also use a strap over the leg, yogi's choice, or you can grab hold of your calf, because we're gonna make this be a little bit of an abs exercise, okay? So what you like to see a lot of times in these videos is you bring your leg down to your head, which looks pretty, but not nearly as engaging as rather if you grab that big toe, left hand on your left thigh, belly's in, sit up, bringing your knee to your shin. Whoo! Okay, so you can also hold your calf or you can hold your knee here. All working those abs. The more straight your right leg is, the more this is a hammy. Let's come down, a hammy stretch. Try that one. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale here and come up, grabbing the toe, or you can grab that calf, or you can be behind the knee. One more breath. All right, with control, set it down. Last one, remember, you can grab hold with your knee, calf, or your toe. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Come on down. Maybe you just let that right leg hang out towards the right. You can use that right knee, or you can use that right big toe. All right, bring that right leg back. Maybe you squeeze it, pull it down to you one more time, then slowly with control, let it go down. All right, left leg up, grab that left big toe. Remember our last ab challenge, right hand down to the right thigh. You can grab your left big toe, left calf, left knee, yogi's choice, pressing down with that right hand, it'll help. Sit up. 1, 2, or you can grab the calf, 3, coming down. We got to do it 2 more times. Ready? Inhale. Come on up. Use your belly. 1, 2, 3. Come on down. Last one. Lift up. 1, 2, 3. Come on down. Whoo. Bring that left leg out to the side. Enjoy that stretch. Bring that left leg up. Shoot it out. Long body stretch. And let's do go ahead and do 3 back bends for good measure. They can be bridges or wheels. Go ahead, bring your feet up to your fingertips. Make sure your fingertips can touch them. They're about hips width distance apart. Knees out straight. On the inhale, you're going to push down into your feet, lift your hips up, and hold it for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. All right, we're going to do that exact same thing, or we can channel a little bit of Jane Fonda. On your inhale, push down, lift up. 1. Maybe you bring that right foot up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right foot down, hips come down. Catch your breath, inhale. Exhale, last one. Lift hips up high and lift that left leg up maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set it down. Set it down. Long body stretch. And then welcome to a nice, happy, super juicy, and lovely Shavasana. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope it was a decently good workout. I hope it offered you enough of a challenge, both physically and mentally. And most importantly, I hope that it helped you to just build a little more strength, but calm down at the same time. Remember, don't skip the vinyasas. Never skip the vinyasas, but don't skip the Shavasana. Lay down here. Enjoy a minute. Maybe if you can go up to 7 minutes, that's awesome. Just relax. Give your body the chance for the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system to come together and to truly give you all the benefits of a yoga practice. Because without the breath, if you just move through the motions and you're not thinking about the breath, then it's basically just like, calisthenics or gymnastics. So enjoy the time that you got to have, and join me back here. We'll be back again next week. And if you liked what you saw, I welcome you to check out our website, thriveyogaandwellness.com. You can go to Thrive Online and see our online community. We have a great online community. Right now it's dedicated to postpartum mamas, because that's kind of me. And for $1 you can sign up and become a member, where you'll get first access to all these videos and more, and direct access to me. We'll have question and answers. Just a really great supportive community where we all get together and encourage each other to go through life and live the best, healthiest life that we can. If you ever have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate. You can drop me a comment down below in the comments section. And until the next time, you guys have a great day. Go in peace. Namaste.